Hey, what is up everyone, this is Linus and this is the ZTE Axon. The phone was released like 2 years ago and it used to cost like 400 bucks. But right now you can buy the phone for 170 bucks and I think it's a pretty good deal. Stay tuned for the full review. Inside the box, you can find a pair of earphones, USB cable, a power plug, instruction manuals, and the SIM ejector pin, which has a nice little carrying case. Once you pick the phone up, the first impression is that the phone is premium. It is made mostly of metal, the buttons are nice and tactile, and the device feels great in the hand due to rounded edges on the back. The ZTE Axon comes with a 5.5 inches 1080p display. The panel is very sharp, vivid, it has great viewing angles and good sunlight visibility. Overall, it is a very high quality display and it is actually one of the best out there even if you compare it with some of today's flagship devices. Also, the display has a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 with the antimicrobial coating. Well, I could not check if the antimicrobial feature really works, but what I can say is that it is much easier to clean the display in comparison to some other phones. On the top, there is what may look like a speaker grill, but it turns out that it is just a design element. Inside of it, you can find just an earpiece, which is located on the right side. Just below the earpiece, there is an 8 megapixels front-firing camera. The selfie camera can also be used as an iris scanner, which works pretty well in good lighting conditions. However, I found it to be more of a gimmick since you first need to click the power button, then swipe down the display and only then let the phone scan your eyes. On the bottom, there are 3 customizable capacitive keys, which also have a nice backlight, although they are pretty much invisible outdoors. Also, the home button serves as a pulsing notification LED light. Just below the capacitive buttons, you can find another grill, but only the right side is where the actual speaker can be found. The sound quality is just great. It is loud and it has a lot of depth and bass for a tiny speaker. In fact, this is one of the best loudspeakers you can find on any budget phone. The backplate is made of gold aluminum material, but the top and bottom parts are made of plastic. Well, these parts sport a somewhat leather-like finish with some fake stitching. They don't look or feel cheap, but I would prefer just an all-metal design. When it comes to optics, we have a dual camera setup that includes a 13-megapixel Sony sensor with optical image stabilization, f1.8 aperture, and a single-tone dual LED flash. There is a dedicated 2-megapixel sensor, which basically collects depth information and it is mainly used for those bokeh shots and focus adjustments after you take the picture. The fingerprint scanner is fast and accurate even if we compare it to today's flagship devices. Also, we can unlock the phone straight from the standby mode. The ZTE Axon was advertised as the first hi-fi smartphone in North America 1.5 years ago. The sound quality via the headset jack is indeed very good. It has a very loud volume output, rich tones, and a lot of depth. Even today, it is undoubtedly one of the best phones for the music lovers out there. Even though the ZTE Axon was released quite a while ago, it still has great specs that include a Snapdragon 810 chip, 3GB of RAM, and 32GB of expandable storage. Graphically intensive tasks like gaming just fly on the ZTE Axon and the visuals look stunning. Even today, I can say that this is a flagship grade performance as I didn't have stutter or lag in any games I played. Well, the device gets warm a bit, but it does not heat up to uncomfortable levels even after extended periods of gaming. The ZTE Axon runs on the Mi Favor UI 3.2, which is company's own take on the Android 5.0. Honestly, it is really frustrating that ZTE didn't update this phone to at least Android 6.0. It may look that the user interface has preserved the aesthetics of the stock Android, but the ZTE added quite a few of its own by offering some extra features, kind of cartoonish looking icons, and tons of customization options. As usual to the Chinese phones, there is no app drawer and all the apps sit on the home screens. The ZTE added some functionality with the gesture controls. Also, you can customize the phone by changing transition effects, accent colors, and so on. Overall, I'm very pleased with how the user interface works, even though it is based on the outdated Android 5.0. Most importantly, the phone is fast and responsive on the daily basis. The camera app is fast and responsive. It has tons of controls, shooting modes, and features. You can take pictures using the auto mode or choose the SLR mode to take a full manual control of the camera. A neat feature is that you can play with the aperture number as well. In addition, the SLR mode allows you to use the secondary 2 megapixels camera sensor and change the focus point and level of it after you take the picture. I was actually really pleased with the results you can achieve with that extra camera sensor. Well, sometimes pictures may look a little bit artificial, but other times you can get some really nice looking images. If you consider that the ZTE Axon costs just $170, the image quality is one of the best in class. The daylight images look great as they have plenty of detail, the colors look nice, and pictures look sharp overall. Well, sometimes the dynamic range can be off. The images taken indoors usually look good too, but with a little bit less lighting, a visible noise kicks in and the amount of detail goes down significantly, like on most of the phones. As for the low light shots, they look pretty good for such a cheap phone. The 1080p footage looks quite good, but the video may look shaky even though the phone has optical image stabilization. The 4K video looks a lot better and the quality may be the best in this price range. There are some extra shooting modes like slow motion video at 720p, which looks pretty good. The selfies look pretty good too, and there will be enough quality for social media purposes.
So currently I'm shooting with the ZTE Axon phone. The device was released like 1.5 years ago and it used to cost $400.
The 1080p selfie video looks pretty good too. Also, the audio recording quality is just excellent. Again, thanks to the two-way hi-fi audio chip that improves audio recording quality too. When it comes to connectivity, the Axon phone has a hybrid dual SIM card tray that can take either 2 SIMs or 1 SIM and a microSD card. All the connectivity options like GPS, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and NFC work great. Also, the call quality is stellar as the earpiece is loud and the sound is very clear. Finally, the reception quality is very good on each of the nano SIM card slot. The battery life on the ZTE Axon is good but not great. It will most likely get you through the day as you can get just below 4 hours of screen on time if you consume a lot of multimedia, use a lot of camera, and play some games. The screen on time may increase up to 4.5 or even 5 hours if you are not doing a lot of demanding tasks. If it happens that you need to recharge the battery in the middle of the day, the Qualcomm's Quick Charge 2.0 comes handy, and you will be able to fully charge the phone in about 1.5 hours with a supply charger. So there we have it, the ZTE Axon after 1.5 years. Even today, the phone looks and feels premium and it has a wonderful display. Also, the chipset may be outdated, but the phone still has enough processing power to handle almost anything you throw at it. The user interface has tons of features and it runs fine, but you will be probably stuck with the Android 5.0, which is a shame to ZTE. Even though the phone looks and feels premium, I'm not a huge fan of the fake leather top and bottom parts on the back. Well, these are just minor shortcomings considering a low price of the phone. In fact, if you consider that this device can take really good pictures, audio quality is just top-notch, and you even have some extra features like the iris scanner, the ZTE Axon is an easy buying recommendation for the price of just about $170. So that would be it guys, the ZTE Axon. I think it's a pretty good phone for the price, but drop me a comment down below saying your opinion. Also, please subscribe to the channel if you like my videos and if you want to see some more videos in the future, and please follow TechLineHD on social media. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram. See you soon.